Welcome back, everybody.
Hi. Welcome back to part 2
Part 2.
of the Mary Elizabeth Variety Hour.
Yes, yes.
Well, or should I say, the first part was the half of Variety Hour.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
There was a show, I was watching it, the Pat Paulson Half a Comedy Hour. And it was from the 1970s. And it was on ABC. And if you go on the internet, you'll find all this cool, like, variety shows from the 60s and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you've heard the Carol Burnett show, of course.
Oh, yes.
But there's also a lot of really good ones, like Laugh-In.
Yeah.
Been watching the Bobby Darin show.
They're
Been
so
watching
funny.
the Danny Kaye show.
Yes.
Been watching the Judy Garland show was wonderful.
Oh, yeah, it was
that's
great.
like the best.
It was great.
Because of Judy Garland.
Yeah, the Judy Garland, yeah.
And so I encourage people, to get out of your comfort zone. Don't have to just be stuck with what's on. Try to watch everything. Try to.
Yeah.
So I can't even remember the last time I watched any. I try to watch the late night talk shows when I can, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And because it's Valentine's Day and love is in the air, we're going to have some cherries. How about that?
Chocolate covered cherries.
Chocolate covered cherries.
Yay.
I would never eat this stuff, but because it doesn't look like they've actually looked like they've been they're turning white. I don't think it's white chocolate either, but they still taste good, so I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
We'll get a nice one there. Take that one over there. I'll eat one of the cruddier looking ones. Tell me how it looks. Tastes good?
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually taste all right. They're weird sort of thing. My dad used to love these things. I guess they're good for the gout. The cherry. Let's see. You know what? Now that I eat one for the first time in years, it's a maraschino cherry, which is the same type of cherry they put in like cherry cokes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They're really nice, and ice cream sundaes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like a cherry you buy at the store in the produce section. It's a treated one. All right.
Yeah.
The others don't look so hot.
Oh.
But I'm sure they're good.
Yeah.
I'll bring them to work. They'll eat anything there.
Yeah.
They eat everything at work. Everything tastes better at work.
Yeah.
Like, I won't eat, like, plain donuts. But if someone brings plain donuts, I'll probably eat them.
Yeah.
If they bring them to work.
Yeah.
That's the last one.
Yeah.
Another one like that is circus peanuts, licorice. I would never eat this stuff. But I'll eat it at work.
Yeah.
I tell you the biggest mistake you could make at work is if someone says, now we're going to let you all listen to the radio while you're at work. We're going to put it in that loudspeakers, overhead.
Yeah.
While you're all working in the office, we'll have the music on.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
If you want trouble in the workplace,
Yeah.
ask a bunch of people to decide what music to listen to.
Yeah.
I remember, well, I'll tell you what, when this happened, I was actually working at King's Dominion.
Yeah.
I was their like house lawyer there, and what happened was they had they always have music on the loudspeakers and stuff.
Yeah.
And and everyone was complaining, one thing, why don't they play Disney music here? And I said, because we're not a Disneyland. We're not going to hear When You Wish Upon a Star here, or It's a Small World. There's none of that, or Chim Chimmery, or anything, or Supercalifragilistic. So they would play, like, other things, and they would say, well, why don't they play something cool? All this stuff is at least 10 years old,
Yeah.
And I said, and guess what? 10 years from now, they're going to complain about that music once it gets old.
Yeah.
So people are always complaining about music. So it gets to the point where the boss has to say, just say, okay, you all work in silence now.
Yeah.
One last thing about King's Dominion, about the amusement park.
Yeah.
Once they would put like a lot of John Williams music up.
Yeah.
I think they found a DVD or a CD of John Williams' greatest hits, and they put it all up, and they had
Yeah.
that in the loudspeaker.
Yeah.
It's for the people coming in. And one of the things, there were two musics I did not care for that they had at this amusement park. One was Schindler's List, the music to Schindler's List. It is good music, but I don't think music from Schindler's List should be in a
Yeah.
joyful place like an
Yeah.
amusement park. And the other thing was very mournful and very sad. And
Yeah.
the other one was even worse. It was the music to Jurassic Park, which, even though you might like that music and it might be
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
I don't want people to be reminded that dinosaurs are going to eat everybody at this amusement park. It's true. There's like about at least six Jurassic Park movies, and they all have the same plot when you think about it.
Yeah.
At the beginning, they said we have a dinosaur problem, but we fixed it, and they're no longer eating people.
Yeah.
Then the end of the movie, they're eating people again.
Yeah.
So tell me, you were talking about like music that should be banned or have been banned. Tell me about
Yes.
that. Tell me what you know about that.
There's a song called "Dear God" by XTC.
Yeah.
It was made back in 1986, and it's supposed to be a sacrilegious song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is it saying?
I
I like
had
it already.
Dear,
Dear God. Okay.
dear God. Da, 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 da.
But what does it say that's so bad? Dear God, there's nothing wrong with that.
It says devil and all that stuff.
Or the devil? Is it like heavy metal?
No, it's kind of like a pop, like a.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
There was, I think a lot of the like Ozzy Osbourne type music,
Yeah.
and Blue Oyster Cult and Black
Yeah.
Sabbath,
Yeah.
and all those, even Kiss
Yeah.
got in trouble for throwing like satanic lyrics or sacrilegious lyrics or
Yeah.
satanic lyrics, and then every once in a while a kid would commit suicide, and in his farewell
Oh,
letter that
yes.
they would have those same lyrics and
Oh
stuff.
yes. Yes.
Listen, people are gonna do crazy things with or without banned music. I don't think. And let me tell you something. It's kind of opportunistic, but I think a lot of those bands throw in that satanic stuff in it because I think they say, well, maybe it'll get the kids to pay attention to us and everything. I knew when I was, because kids like that stuff.
Yeah.
They eat that up.
Yeah.
Kids at slumber parties and stuff, that the
Yeah.
seance and the Ouija boards and everything,
Yeah.
and on
Yeah.
Halloween they do all that stuff. And I think the kids are just having fun.
Yeah.
But the parents get wind of it. They think that the kids are like joining a satanic cult or something.
Yeah.
There was a woman I remember in the children's theater. I think we put on the Harry Potter story as a play once. And there was this one woman who didn't want her kid in it, so the kid wasn't in it. And the woman was a nice woman, a religious woman, but I couldn't understand, well, what's so bad about Harry Potter. She said, well, there's a lot of crazy like magic and hocus pocus and otherworldly stuff in there that I don't want it to. I don't want it obfuscating the religious teachings from the Bible and Jesus and everything that I'm trying to teach my kids. So I said, well, I'm sure the kid is smart enough to know. Your kid is smart enough to know the difference between, a funny story about Harry Potter and the Bible. And she said, no, they're not. I said, you might know it, and I know it. But the kids, I mean, let's face it, real life is kind of dull. What happens in the Bible, what happens in these, probably won't happen to you.
Yeah.
You watch movies about outer space all the time. Chances are you're not going to be abducted by aliens or even see aliens or even go into space as an astronaut.
Yeah.
So, so you get a vicarious pleasure watching it or reading it in a book or seeing it on TV or something.
Yeah.
But she said that the kids with the Harry Potter, part of the deal with Harry Potter, the reason why Harry Potter was so popular with kids, was that kids kind of want that in their lives. And if they're not going to get it through typical religion. They're going to find it in the magic of the black magic of books and stuff like. So yeah, I got to keep my kids away from Harry Potter
Yeah.
because of that. And then
Yeah.
oh well, okay, I guess I see your point.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I don't like is when they ban stuff for. I mean, they ban it because of kids, but I don't like when they ban everything. Whether in other words, because it's bad for the kids, adults can't see it either.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's smoking and drinking and stuff, which I do not do, but I don't want kids to do it.
Yeah.
But I think it should be available for adults. We actually had a constitutional amendment to ban drinking, and then we had to amend it.
Yeah. Yeah.
12 years later.
Yeah.
I believe the kids should have their role, and I think it comes down to parents.
Yeah.
Kids are having a easier time now seeing pornography and seeing. They're exposed to everything now, thanks to the internet. When I was a kid, it was hard work trying to sneak your father's Playboy,
Yeah.
see what a naked woman looked like. I mean, now kids can see it anytime. They say, well, when you go on the internet, they say, "Are you 18 years of age?" And they're supposed to truthfully say that now. If you're 12 years old and you want to see a naked body, you're not gonna start suddenly all of a sudden be truthful.
Yeah. Yeah.
When my mother told me and father told me you can't see a particular movie or read a particular book, I'd say, you have who are you to tell me that?
Yeah.
I'm old enough to know better, because my mother was right. She goes, no, you're not.
Yeah.
12 years old is still young.
Yeah.
And you're a young 12. You're as a 12-year-old, you're more like an 8-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not a worldly guy at 12.
Yeah.
But my parents, but at the same time, I think sometimes I will have kids. I'll talk to kids, like in the theater or something, and or talk, children of friends of mine, and I'll say, "Do you want to hear a funny joke?" And it'd be a dirty joke, or I might tell them about a movie I saw or something, and then they'll say, "I don't think that's very appropriate to tell me." I said, what happened here? When I was a kid, this is what I wanted to hear. I didn't want every. I remember once one guy, actually it was my uncle. There was a movie out called The Other Side of Midnight. It's based on a book by Sidney Sheldon, and there was a movie, and I saw the movie, and I must have been, I don't know, 14 years old. And I said to my uncle, I was getting involved in movies at that point, and I said, "Did you see any good movies lately?" He goes, "Yeah, I saw The Other Side of Midnight, but it's an adult movie. It's not a movie for you."
Yeah.
And I had already seen it. So I've already seen it.
Yeah.
Do what? And a lot of these guys, they like talk tough, these adults, but then when you actually show them that you can be an adult, they don't like to hear. They don't like kids, acting up like that.
Yeah.
I have a movie here called
All That Jazz.
All That Jazz. One of my favorite movies. All That Jazz. I'm sure you all have seen it. It has Roy Scheider. And I tell you how good this movie is. Well, I'll talk about it in a moment. But I had a niece, and when she grew up, she's now in her 30s, I think. When I have a niece, and when she told one of my sisters, not her mother, but one of my sisters, that I took her to see, or no, I had it on and I showed her All That Jazz, and it has a lot of stuff that I guess kids shouldn't see.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was about 21 when it came out, so that's not a big deal. But anyway, now if you know this movie, it has some of the greatest musical parts of it, musical numbers ever in a movie. The editing is great. It is such a great movie that Bob Fosse, after he made it, I said, I don't think Bob Fosse will ever make a movie as good as this, and he never did. He made one other movie, which wasn't a musical, called Star 80. But this
Star 80 was a good movie.
Well, that was a good movie, but Star 80 could have been made by anybody. This really was all about. Only one guy could have made it, Bob Fosse.
Oh, yeah.
He made Cabaret, and he directed a lot of stage shows like Chicago, and stuff, choreographed a lot of things. in old Hollywood movies in the 50s and 60s. He was a dancer too. Anyway, he only lived to be, I think, 50 years old. In fact, all that jazz has a lot of mortality in it. He's smoking and drinking too much and everything. And at the end, I mean, it's not at the end, has this wild ending where he's on his deathbed and he has all these dreams, those things you see when you die, supposedly.
Yeah.
And it's all these musical numbers with Ben Vereen and dancers, and it is something to behold. It's so good.
Wow.
And the song in it is "Bye Bye Love,"
Oh yeah.
and it's "I Think I'm Gonna Die,"
Yeah.
by the Everly Brothers. Goodbye, my love, and it's just so good. I can't describe it. It's just so good. Well, anyway, so when my sister told me, I heard you took her to see All That Jazz. I seen that movie. It's not a movie for like, what was it, 7-year-old kids or something. 6-year-old kids. I said, listen, I only was watching the last 20 minutes of it with that because I love that ending to it, and she saw that, which isn't too bad because it's all just singing and dancing. Pretty much the adult stuff is kind of over by then,
Yeah.
and so I said she saw 20 minutes of this movie, the good parts, and then told you she saw the movie. A lot of kids are that way. You show them 10, 20 minutes of a movie, they think they've seen the whole movie. But actually, my favorite scene in that movie is the one where I actually like moves me. It's so good. I'm just talking about it moves me. Anne Ryan King and this little girl has, I think for his birthday or something, does their own little dance number in an apartment, and it's just on a staircase, and they do it to the Peter Allen song "Everything Old Is New Again."
Oh yeah.
And this you got to see or believe. And it's actually, even though he has all these big budget scenes in it, that scene kind of could tell anyone making a musical today, you don't need fancy costumes and everything, just smart choreography and the right song, and you could do it great. And I may even put that in the comments, that the couple of scenes from this movie, the ones I'm talking about. So if you haven't seen it, it's something to behold. It's really good. So All That Jazz. Now tell me about any other band songs,
Song called "Physical" by Olivia Newton-John.
Physical. Okay. Let's get physical.
Physical.
What
I
was that
wanna
about?
get.
What was so bad about that song?
I don't know, but I don't know
I think
why.
they didn't. I think there was the double entendre of physical,
Yeah.
but if you see the video,
Yeah.
they're in a workout. They're doing exercises
Yeah, I know.
on the treadmill and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about getting physical in the gym.
Yeah.
And then she's wearing a headband and the stockings and
The sweats.
the
Yeah.
sweats. I mean,
Yeah.
like we should tell kids not to do that.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather see them do that than be on the phone all day on the couch.
Yeah, I know.
Eating garbage,
I know.
eating chocolate cherries.
Yeah.
At least, my mom would give me like cherries. She would give we like whenever we got candy, which was very rare.
Yeah.
Now I eat candy all the time because I can. But she wanted us to have like peanut butter cups and
Yeah.
Butterfingers and
Oh yeah.
Baby Ruth and stuff like a Snickers
Yeah.
bar. I said, well, what's so great? I said, because almonds, they actually have something healthy in them, raisins in them.
Yeah.
Today I was at the Cracker Barrel. They had Chunky. I haven't seen Chunky in years. Should have brought some Chunky.
Yeah.
So you just have to pretty much takes forever to eat a Chunky though.
Yeah.
And so she said, well, at least you're getting some health out of it. If you eat something with peanuts in it. There was no peanut allergies when I was a kid. My mom was very upset with kids with allergies because she felt that got them out of eating good food. Like there was one kid that was allergic to milk, so he always got a soda.
Yeah.
This is what everyone wanted.
Yeah.
Why does he get a Pepsi Cola while we have to drink milk?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got. I remember once I got in a lot of trouble for I was playing I was being a pest
Yeah.
And I told my mom. There's a group of people at this house, and we went. I was at this house, and I said, "Do we never had Coke when I was a kid." Okay, so I said, "Can we go home now?" No, we just got here. And I said this right in front of the woman of the house. I said, "I want to go home so I can get a Coke." We never had Coke at the house. And then the woman says, "Oh, you want a Coke? I can get you a Coke." And then my mom just got so mad
Oh, wow.
because I was playing everybody against each other. And then I got a Coke. I'm like, I think I'd be a good parent. You know why?
Why?
Because anytime a kid would try to pull one over on me and say, "Hey," I'd be like those mob lawyers who become like judges.
Yeah.
Hey, I tried the same thing. Trying to get my guys off. Now I'm going to throw the book at them. Because now I'm the judge. Yes.
Yeah.
So physical. What? You know any other band songs? This is kind of interesting. I like this.
I heard that Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison.
Band?
Van Morrison. Yeah.
I know Van Morrison, and I know the song.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good song.
Yeah, it is a good
Now,
song.
what was banned about that?
I don't know, but
I know there was a song that was kind of controversial to say about transvestite. It was called Lola by the Kinks.
oh yeah.
I met her in the park down in North Soho, and she drank champagne. Tastes just like Coca-Cola. And I think it was about a trans. And there's another song called Walk on the Wild Side. But that song about Lola, and it has this chorus, la 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 Lola. And I think most kids didn't even care what the song was about. They just
Oh,
like
yeah.
singing that. La, la, la. And when the parents hear them singing that, that's why when they made a big fuss a few years ago, I think Tipper Gore and everything about rock music and the lyrics and everything. I don't think most kids, I think it goes right over their heads.
Yeah.
You know, they like the beat and they like the music. I can't even I mean, I love the opera. I don't know half of what they're singing.
Yeah, I know.
I got to look at the costumes. I know that Pagliacci is a clown, and I know that I know that La Boheme, they're a bunch of homeless people with tuberculosis.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can tell what they're about. You know, La
Yeah.
Traviata is about a woman with tuberculosis.
Yeah.
A lot of tuberculosis, a lot of consumption in these operas.
Yeah.
So anyway, I gotta show you something. I think we may have talked about Winona before.
Yes.
Winona Judd. And I remember this album, and I got my hands on this album. And I don't know when it came out. 2008. Now, she had a mother who sadly committed suicide last year. Naomi.
Yes.
Naomi Judd. Now, a really weird story about her was she had hepatitis C and had to retire. And instead of just retiring, she spent the whole next year performing with her daughter on a farewell tour. And then as soon as she retired, it wasn't the end of the Judds. Winona kept on going as a solo act. And I saw her but all new songs, didn't sing Judd songs or anything. But you get this CD, I don't know what it's called. It's called New Day Dawning, 2008. It has good songs on it. And its songs are, I mean, her own songs, but it's songs like Tough Enough, popular song. Joni Mitchell song. What's it? I can't read. Lost Without You? No. I've Got Your Love. Chain React. There's a song on here. Help me, I think I'm falling in love with you.
Yeah.
By Joni Mitchell. And then I don't know the name of it because I don't recognize the name of it. I have it wrong. But there's also a song by Macy Gray on here, and it sounds just like the Macy Gray version, only with Winona singing it. I Can't Wait to Meet You, and it's really good. So anyway, I get this CD, and I remember getting the CD, and I'm not going to show it to you because I have it in my car, but there's another CD in it. All right,
Oh yeah.
there are two CDs. The other CD is an EP, extended play album, and it has a comeback by the Judds.
Oh.
4 songs by the Judds.
Oh.
And there they are.
Cool.
Poor Naomi and Winona. And it's really good. It's almost as good as the rest of the album.
Yeah.
And it's great to hear the Judds again.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, she took the last year that she performed. She had hepatitis C, and so she had to retire. She had to break up the band, but they had this wonderful farewell tour. All right,
Yeah.
and then she quit, and then Winona was a solo act. That's when I saw her, because she started playing smaller places, not these big places like Madison Square Garden and stuff when they were together. And I saw her at a smaller place in town, and she was great at Winona. And then 6 months later, she announces, Naomi, that she doesn't have hepatitis C anymore. She's in remission or whatever. I don't think you can get rid of hepatitis, I think. Or that easily anyway. Hepatitis C, I think you always have it. She said she didn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Made me wonder if she really had it in the first place. She should probably pretend to have it just to break up the band so her daughter could be a soloist. Because there was a time. But if you actually see the Judds singing, like on old TV shows and stuff,
Yeah.
Winona really is the singer.
Yeah.
Naomi doesn't do a whole lot. So I encourage you to get this album. You not only get a pretty good album by Winona, but you also get a couple of songs by the Judds.
Yeah.
And let's see. So what's the rest of your day look like?
Probably come back home and maybe watch TV or something.
Watch TV. All right.
Yeah.
I every Valentine's Day is a big day for me.
Yeah.
It's the what's the old joke? It's the Bachelor's Disneyland. So it was great to start it off with you.
It's good to start with you
Yes.
too.
So thank you for having me at the first. We've done a couple of shows in 2024, and here's to many more.
Yes.
So thank you, Mary Elizabeth.
No problem.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
We should do a show. I guess the next show we should do would be St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got all the green behind us on a.
Yeah.
That would work. All right. Thank you.
Yes. I just want to say thank you all for tuning in, and hope you all have a nice Valentine's Day. God bless you. Take care.